من النهر للبحر فلسطين رح تكون حرة، هاي المقولة ايش بنعني فيها لما نحكيها؟
احكي بالنسبة للعربي
عربي.
يعني انه تبقى فلسطين دولة واحدة من البحر المتوسط للبحر الميت للنهر الأردن، ومن شمالها لجنوبها انه كل عم السلام يروح الاحتلال يزيل عنا.
That occupation just fades away.
And what happens to the Israelis?
وايش يصير انه في الاسرائيليين اذا كانت كلها لفلسطين؟
يعني انه يا بلاقوا دولة ثانية يعيشوا فيها، يا اما بنعيش مع بعض بسلام يعني.
Like either find another land for them or we live in peace together. من النهر للبحر فلسطين راح تكون حرة. ايش قصدنا بهاي المقولة؟
من النهر للبحر انه فلسطين يعني بالنهاية راح
That in the end Palestine.
يعني كيف بدي اقول لك راح تتحرر.
Palestine will be free.
يعني تكون معجزة.
It will be a miracle that it becomes free.
يعني مستحيل انه النهر ينمزج مع البحر.
Because it's impossible that river meets the sea.
فبقول لك يعني انه راح يكون في معجزة انه
that it'll be a miracle that there'll be all free, like one land, one people.
Okay, so what does that mean? What happens to the Israelis? How are they involved?
ايش بصير يعني بالإسرائيليين إذا صار هذا الشيء؟
يعني ايش اقول لك ايش يصير فيهم يعني؟
Like I don't know what to tell you. What happened to them?
يعني بصراحة رح نضل يعني في رباط إلى يوم القيامة.
Like we'll always be connected till last day.
يعني فيش نهاية للإسرائيليين.
Like there's no like just end for Israelis like.
يعني
So they'll stay.
يعني راح يضلوا.
راح يضلوا بس إحنا
Yes, they'll stay.
يعني في القرآن الكريم.
But in Quran.
موجود إنه راح نضل إحنا في رباط إلى يوم القيامة. راح نضل
That will always be connected. مجاهد.
مجاهد يعني.
That will always be fighting.
So if the Israelis stay and it's all Palestine is free, what is it? What is it? A democratic state, an Islamic state? What is it?
إنه يعني إذا صارت فلسطين حرة وضلوا الإسرائيليين فأي نوع من دولة راح تكون؟ إنه ديمقراطية أو عنصرية؟
يعني يظلوا؟ طبعا راح تضل عنصرية.
It'll always be non-democratic.
راح تضل عنصرية.
Why?
لأنه الاحتلال بصراحة وجعنا كثير.
Because the occupation really hurt us.
شهداء، جرحى، إصابات. يعني في كتير أشياء.
Like a lot of things.
يعني إحنا نخسر وطننا عليهم.
Yeah, like we're losing our land.
لما نحكي أو بالأحرى هم كتير بيسمعوا نحكي إنه فلسطين رح تكون حرة من النهر للبحر. إن شاء الله. إن شاء الله. شو يعني هذه العبارة؟ ولما يصير هذا الإشي شو رح يكون النظام؟ فأولاً إيش يعني؟ بعدين شو النظام رح يكون؟
ايش يعني انها تكون حرة؟
من النهر للبحر.
انها تكون حرة من دون احتلال.
That it be free without occupation.
انه احنا نكون عايشين على طبيعتنا بدون اي قيود.
That we live freely without any restraints.
ناخذ حريتنا بكل شيء، سواء بالخرجات بالطلعات بكل شيء.
Everything, whether it's going in, it's going out, with everything.
Between the two sides, between the West Bank and Israel.
ما بين الضفة الغربية وإسرائيل يعني؟
لا.
ولا ايش يعني نطلع ونعبر زي ما بدنا؟
وبتمنى كمان انها فلسطين اللي هي عرب ال 48 انها نرجع احنا عادي، ما مش اسرائيل، لا اللي هي دولة فلسطين.
We hope that all the Palestinians and the Arabs of 1948 go back to the occupied land of 1948, not into Israel.
So meaning, she means Israel doesn't exist.
هذا معناه إنه من النهر للبحر ما راح تكون في إسرائيل.
لا إن شاء الله لا.
That's what it means. So she said no, we don't want it to be. So yes, that's what it means.
Okay. Nothing else. Oh, what will be the system?
شو راح يكون النظام طيب لما الإشي يروح؟
كيف يعني النظام؟
Will it be Islamic? Will it be democratic?
So she just asked, what do you mean by what the system is? هل راح يكون إسلامي؟ هل راح يكون ديمقراطي؟ هل راح يكون؟
لا ديمقراطي طبعا أكيد.
Democratic.
أكيد.
For sure.
So what happens to all the Israelis?
طيب شو بيصير في كل الإسرائيليين؟
يتصرفوا حالهم يدبروا حالهم. هاي مشكلتهم.
They can figure it out. It's their problem.
When you say from river to sea, Palestine will be free, what do you mean?
The person who says that, he mean that the historical Palestine is within the Jordanian River and the Mediterranean.
Okay. And what does it mean to be free? What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Free for its people, for the Palestinians.
Okay. So a person who lives today in Haifa or Akka, who's Muslim Palestinian, they're not free?
according to the people who says that, I think they believe that they are not free.
Okay, so how will they become free?
They can become free
How?
if they have their own right to أعطيني شكلي to هذا 12 10 32 بس بدي شكلي to be free it means that you have your self-determination. Not
Okay.
to be under occupation, not to be under the rule of any other state.
Okay, can Israel still exist and they be free?
You know, there is a treaty signed between PLO and Israel. Okay, and the treaty is very clear. And to establish two states, live side by side, peace, Israel.
So yes, basically yes, as long as they have their collective
And,
rights, that's what you mean.
This is the only chance to live in peace together here, not to keep in conflict or in wars anymore. I hope that the coming elections in Israel bring moderate leadership to continue working for that and to keep away the slogan from the river to the sea. Two states, it can be viable.
Okay, so people who say from river to sea Palestine will be free, you think they are against two states?
You know, there is some Israelis in the
No,
Israeli side.
let's say Palestinians. Only Palestinians.
Okay. Among the Israeli leadership, a lot of them says Israel is
River to sea.
from the Mediterranean till to Furat.
No, they don't say that. No, they say from river to sea. They don't say that river. It means the Jordan. Trust me on this.
They mean Jordan?
They mean the Jordan. I swear.
That's
But when Palestinians say it, they mean they're against two states, do you think? Or for you?
Some Palestinians are against two states. Some Palestinians and some Israeli fundamentalists. You know, where are you from? From Israel?
From river to sea, Palestine will be free. What does that mean?
So political question.
What does it mean to you? What do you think of?
I think well, Palestine will be free, inshallah, and we will go to what we call it in the map. We have
historical Palestine.
No. It's a very hard question. In al-Hudud, what is
Borders.
Borders, yeah.
So where will the borders be?
Will be before 1948.
So what it was before 48?
Yeah.
Okay, and will you return to your homes in historic Palestine?
I'm not a refugee, but I'm here from Naples. But maybe sometime refugees.
But is that what it means? Is that what you?
To their homes in,
But when you hear that phrase, do you think that's what it means?
Borders. What?
When you hear the phrase "from river to sea, Palestine will be free," is that what you think of? So historical Palestine, that's what you think of.
Yeah, historical Palestine, yeah.
And who will control historical Palestine?
Well, we us as Palestinians, but I think it's not very soon, yeah.
Not soon.
Not soon. In these conditions, not soon.
Okay. What will happen to Israel?
Israel back there to their homes also.
Where are their homes?
They all go in Europe and Africa.
America.
Africa. Africa and America.
Okay.
Yeah. So all people go to their homes, historical homes.
هلا في مقولة بتحكي إنه فلسطين رح تكون حرة من النهر للبحر، من البحر للنهر.
حلو.
إيش رأيك فيها أو إيش معناها هاي المقولة؟
هاي المقولة إنه
He kicked his friend under the table saying help me.
مش عارف.
لا طبعا.
He doesn't know? Well,
منطقيا لا.
I'm gonna ask, do you think Palestine should be 48 and 67 or
انت بتحكي انها بتتحرر فلسطين من البحر للنهر، كل شيء يكون
لما حدا فلسطيني يحكي فلسطين هي من البحر للنهر.
هي الحدود بجوز الحدود طبعا فلسطين من البحر للبحر.
It's from the river to the sea. What do you say? He says, well, maybe it's the borders. It's from the sea to the sea or from the river to the sea.
Okay.
طب أنت إيش رأيك فيها? What do you think of it?
أنا إيش رأيي فيها؟
مش منطقية.
ما تغشي شيء. Don't tell her I'm telling her.
She could say something from the side. It's okay.
إذا بتحكي شيء من الجانب وما تبيني مش مشكلة.
طبعا مش منطقي لأن قوة إسرائيل أكبر من قوة الفلسطينيين.
Because the power of Israel is bigger than the power of the Palestinians or Palestine.
Okay. Do you feel you're from Jerusalem? Do you feel free?
أنت من القدس، هل بتحس حالك حر؟
في تخلف.
طبعا لا.
Of course not.
What would make you feel free?
شو في إشي ممكن يخليك تحس بحرية؟
إنه ناخذ كل حقوقنا.
To take all of our rights.
What is the right? You mean example of his right?
أعطيني مثال عن الحقوق.
كمثال يعني إنه نطلع من الضفة مثلا على القدس من غير ما نتفتش، مثلا نطلع مثلا من غير ما يعني أكون يعني أطلع من الدار حر ما أتفتشش. يعني زي أي بني آدم إنه بيستحق إنه يعيش. إنه بنعاني كثير من ضغوطات يعني البلد القديم خاصية. يعني هيك شايف إحنا قاعدين هون وتطلع كيف حوالينا إحنا قاعدين وخايفين يعني.
You can see we're sitting here and we're sitting and we're a little afraid.
يعني إحنا
We're sitting in a West Bank Jewish settlement. Yeah.
لما نحكي فلسطين من النهر للبحر، من البحر للنهر رح تكون حرة. إيش قصدنا فيها؟
لا، فلسطين على الموقع الجغرافي اللي هي
مش في ناس بتحكي فلسطين من البحر للنهر؟
لا. ما في هذا شيء. فلسطين احنا بدولة، احنا بالخلافة الإسلامية في الدولة الإسلامية فيش كانت فلسطين كاسم مدينة. يعني ما لها حدود سياسية.
It was a city. It didn't have political borders.
يعني فلسطين، سوريا، لبنان، الأردن ما فيش بينهم الخطوط اللي هي تبعت اتفاقية سايكس-بيكو 1916.
There were no borders between the countries that he just mentioned: Jordan, Syria, Palestine, and something.
Lebanon.
And Lebanon. These borders were drawn after the.
كلهم دولة واحدة، في دولة واحدة. هي الدولة التركية.
They used to be one country.
الدولة العثمانية بنرجع، أما فلسطين ما مش من النهر.
Under the Ottoman Empire, but there was no past.
Okay, but when people say from river to sea, Palestine will be free, what is the free part?
طيب بس في ناس بتحكي إنه فلسطين من النهر للبحر لازم تكون حرة. إيش قصدهم حرة؟
لا، حرة بالنسبة لإسرائيل. من النهر للبحر اللي هو من البحر المتوسط احنا كالخارطة اللي هي لازم تكون حرة من إسرائيل. هيك.
By free meaning free from Israel.
Does that mean Israel can't exist, or the West Bank is free from Israel?
حرة معناها تكون حرة من الاحتلال ولا بس تكون حرة الضفة الغربية؟
لا، على اتفاقية 141 و 242 اللي هي التقسيمات 67. لا، احنا حرة كفلسطين ككل، ما بس الضفة، فلسطين كاملة.
Not according to the resolutions 141. 141 وايش؟
141 اللي هي 181 سوري.
181 والثانية؟
242 على ما
242. So
هم اتفاقيات الأمم
المتحدة
من
242, 181 and 242. No, we mean all of Palestine should be free, not just the West Bank.
But can Israel still exist?
طب هل ممكن إسرائيل لسه تكون موجودة؟
لا، إسرائيل هي في معتقداتهم بروح لهم انهم اهل لهذه الارض، بس لكن احنا اسلاميا دولة اسرائيل بدها تزول.
Israelis believe that this is their land, but as Muslims we believe that it will cease to exist. It will leave.
Okay.
في هاي العبارة ايش بنقصد بفلسطين رح تكون حرة من النهر للبحر، وكيف رح يكون النظام في فلسطين لما تتحرر من النهر للبحر كلياتها؟
Explain what you explained.
I just asked the question. When we say this, Palestine will be free. What do we mean, and what will the system be?
فلسطين التاريخية هي أصلها من البحر للنهر يعني.
Historical Palestine is originally from river to sea. تمام.
واللي بده يعيش فيها بده يمشي في النظام الديمقراطي اللي موجود فيها.
And those who want to live in it have to live under the democratic system that it will be running.
Okay. So what happens to the Israelis in that system?
طيب شو بصير في اليهود في هذا النظام مثلا، او شو بصير في الاسرائيليين في هذا النظام؟
اذا احنا بنرجع للتاريخ قبل 48.
We go back in history before 1948.
كانوا يهود عايشين عندنا في بلادنا.
There used to be Jews living here.
لما اجى الانتداب البريطاني واحتل فلسطين.
And when the British mandate came and occupied Palestine.
دخل اليهود على بلادنا هذا.
And brought in Jews into our land.
فهم طردوا الفلسطينيين الموجودين هنا، خرجوهم برا وصار في مخيمات وصار في لاجئين وصارت قضيه، فهمت علي؟
They kicked out the Palestinians. They kicked them out of their lands. They made them refugees.
هسه احنا عايشين هنا عايشين اسرائيل حاكمتنا، فهمت علي؟ بس اسرائيل مش ديمقراطيه.
Now we are living here and Israel is occupying us. It is ruling us, but it's not democratic.
اذا هم بدهم يعيشوا عندنا احنا وفلسطين كلها احنا ماشيين فيها بحر الطائر بصير في ديمقراطيه.
In Palestine, from the sea to the river, in a democratic state of Palestine, they're welcome.
بصير في ديمقراطيه، بصير في انتخابات اللي بينتخب
elections, and those who is the person who is elected.
مثل نظام جنوب افريقيا كانوا 3% من البيض حاكمين 97% من السود.
3% of the population who were white were ruling the originals.
فلما راح النظام العنصري من جنوب افريقيا وصار في انتخابات حكموا اهل المنطقه.
The owners of the land ruled the land.
Okay. So wait, what happens though there are more Jews than Palestinians? If it's a democracy, it'll still be a Jewish place.
طب خلينا نفترض انه مثلا كان في يهود اكثر من فلسطينيه.
انت برضه مش تفترضي، انت اذا عندك ديمقراطيه. اذا في ديمقراطيه في الانتخابات اللي بيفوز بده يحكم.
If there's democracy, the person who wins the elections will rule. Okay.
Do you know the phrase when people say, "From river to sea, Palestine will be free"?
Of course.
Okay. What does it mean?
That okay, so there are some negotiations that Palestine will be divided to Palestine and Israel. So we as Palestinians don't think that Israel deserves any land because Palestine from the top to the bottom will be ours. It's our land.
Meaning what's Israel today is Palestine?
Yes, Palestine.
Okay, what happens to the Israelis when it's free?
When it's free. I guess, yeah, exactly.
They go back to their countries?
Yeah.
Which is where? Where are their countries?
They came from everywhere, so it's not.
Even though they've been here for 4 generations?
We've been here for more than 10 generations. Exactly.
Okay, so it's a competition. So they have to go back? Okay, so you say you have to go back, what do you say?
Yeah, they have to go back. It's our land, and if they want to come as visitors like you and her, they are welcomed. But it's our land. If they want to stay here, they have to stay here by our conditions.
Okay. What are your conditions for them to stay here?
It's our land, and they are visitors. They are welcomed here.
What does that mean? They're visitors. They're not citizens?
No, they're not.
They don't have the same rights?
No, rights. Human rights are the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Human rights are the same. We don't touch humanity, but they don't get to have an army. They don't get to stay for. Do you know Abdul Hamid الثاني? Abdul Hamid II. He was.
From history.
Yeah. When he was.
He was Ottoman, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
When he was Khalifa, like the president, he allowed Jews to Palestine, but he didn't allow them for more than 3 months. Even though they tried to convince him with the gifts and land and.
But human rights are so. If a Jew wanted to be a president of Palestine, he could be a president of all of Palestine.
There is a big difference between a Jew and
a Zionist.
Yes.
But let's pretend there isn't.
No, there is. You can't pretend that there's. It exists.
Okay. So.
Okay. We don't have any problem with the religion. Like I'm a Muslim, she's a Christian, whatever. you're a Jew, for example, I don't care. Our problem is with the Zionists, who believe that they belong to Palestine and we don't.
What if they believe you belong to Palestine and they belong also to Israel?
They pretend like they do, but they don't.
They pretend that they do?
Even
what if they do?
What if they don't?
No, but they do. Israel, yes. Oh, yes.
Do they?
Oh, yes.
Do they?
Yeah. Not all,
Have you
but
studied
most.
history?
Yes.
Since when?
Okay, we're not.
Who started Palestine?
No, I'm saying you said that they don't believe that you belong. I'm saying they do believe you belong.
I know that they do believe, but it's...
You're saying that they don't belong, though.
They don't belong here. They don't. Okay, if you study history from ancient history, you'll find out that Palestine was founded by Palestinians, by Al-Uthmaniyin. I don't know what you guys call them in Palestine in English.
Ottomans.
Yes.
But that was only 400 years ago.
Not Uthmaniyin, Kan'aniyin, I'm sorry.
Oh, Canaanites.
Yes, it was founded by Al-Kan'aniyin, and if Jews were here before the Kan'aniyin, no, they weren't. Are there any studies that say that the Kan'aniyin were here before, that the Jews were here before the Kan'aniyin? No, they're not. If you study history, you will find out that Palestine is for Palestinians. And anyone who wants to give Palestinians their rights is welcomed. But anyone who wants to kill us every day and take my brother to jail, for example, and my friend was murdered the day before yesterday. She's only 16 years old.
What happened?
Why? What happened? I don't know what happened. She wears niqab. Do you know, guys, what niqab is?
Yeah.
The face cover. And they killed her because they don't find that they find anyone who wears niqab is a threat. Why? It's a religious belief that I want to hide my face. Okay, I hid my face. Well, I'm going to kill you. They killed her because she wears niqab. If they want to come here, they will come as visitors who can't, they think they're above the law. Any country in the world. Okay, if this happened in any country in the world, they would be in jail right now. But because most people don't even know what Palestine is, which is a shame. And it's sad, because if anyone who is concerned about human rights and children's rights and women's rights, they will stand for us, yeah.
Not for them.
Hey guys, if you want us to come here to Palestine to learn more about what Palestinians think and see gorgeous pieces of fruit, please help us by subscribing, donating to the project so we can come even further.